And good evening. Welcome to Kelowna Now Live on YouTube and X. And we have your evening headlines.
And we're starting early.
Yes,
it
we
makes
are.
up for all the times we start late.
Right there. It's like money in the bank.
Money in the bank.
A quarter of all Canadians fearing they don't have enough money to cover their basic needs, a survey finds. That's a recent survey. And
these are the comments we're hearing more and more and more. A quarter of all Canadians scared they don't have enough money to cover their basic needs. More than a fifth, 22% of parents, meanwhile, are eating less food so that their kids and other family members can eat. Typical parent will always sacrifice himself. The research completed on behalf of the Salvation Army also found that single parents are the worst affected, with 40% of them worrying about covering basic needs. Even more, 44% of single parents are eating less for the sake of their kids. Oh my God, right?
Right.
And these are the top concerns for people. Inflation, housing security, food affordability, poverty and social inequality, climate change, they're at number 5. Financial and political corruption. That one should be way higher on the list. Crime and violence, unemployment, natural disasters, and coronavirus at the end. There you go.
That's very telling. And this is a consumer price index of food and shelter in Canada as well.
And they're saying the situation is dire for single-parent families where parents are going without food to make ends meet. This is not the Canada I can remember. So this survey was done October 12th through 19th, the Salvation Army said. It was based on a representative sample of 1,515 Canadians. And it did not include the territories. So I asked Grok. I've been approved for Grok, which is X's AI. And I've been pitting Grok against ChatGPT-4 to see what the answers are. Pretty similar for the most part. So I asked it what the top 10 concerns for Canadians are, because the Salvation Army did their survey. So according to Grok, I don't think I shared this with Marcy. According to Grok, which agrees with, can you put up the Salvation Army here? That they're the graph that showed the top 10 concerns, and we'll see if they if they compare. So Grok says it's inflation. There you go. Yep. Salvation Army says it's inflation.
Okay.
Number 2, they said jobs in the economy. According to Twitter, the X Files, that's combing through all the X Files. They're saying the second biggest thing.
I guess if you don't have a job, you don't have home security either. So there could be sort of.
Their number 3 thing is housing. The cost of borrowing Canadian citizens has skyrocketed, making it difficult for people to afford a home. So the cost of housing. And then number 4 there is the environment. Climate change and other environmental issues are a growing concern for. And I would believe that carbon tax might fall in there, right? So. Healthcare. The pandemic has put a strain on the healthcare system. Healthcare didn't make the list.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
Unless you call it COVID there. And this is the one that I would say is like a bigger one for me. Fear of war. With global tensions on the rise, many Canadians are worried about the possibility of war and impact on their lives. I would say that's a real concern for a lot of people.
For the first time in our generation, really, right?
It's crazy. And then immigration made the list, which didn't make the other list. Immigration is a hot topic in Canada, with some people concerned about the impact of new arrivals on the economy and society. I heard a number the other day. It says 1.5 million instead of the 1 million number that I've been hearing. Obviously, with stretched healthcare, stretched housing, adding 1 million people to a society of 36 million is a lot of add. The debt and the deficit. The pandemic has led to increased government spending, and many Canadians are concerned with the long-term impact this will have on the country's finances. I would say like some of this leans more financial, but most people on X are in the financial segment too of that. Poverty and homelessness, which is number 4 on that list, number 9 on this list.
Yeah.
And then the last one.
Change the PM.
Some Canadians unhappy with the current government are calling for a change in leadership.
Yeah.
And this, according to Grok, these concerns reflect the diverse challenges facing Canadians today, and addressing them required a collaborative effort from all levels of society. And that, I couldn't agree with more.
Yeah, right.
Like, forget the right and the left, forget about politics.
We'll never get there if we're fighting each other like that, right?
Like, if you can just go read the posts from some of those parties, and it's just enough to make you lose hope.
Yeah.
So, On to the news.
All right.
Oh, anyway, on the Grok stuff, we'll try to fit that in more. We'll ask Grok some questions and see where that fits. Where kind of see how smart it is.
Give it a test spin. And speaking of which, driving, and there was a traffic stop in Lake Country that led to a drug and cash seizure. This happened to a couple of folks this Saturday morning off for a drive, and RCMP.
Yeah, so 2 people were arrested and drugs were seized in the early hour of morning of Saturday, 3 a.m., December 16th, observed a suspicious vehicle pulling into a gas station, 9700 block of Highway 97. Officers approached the car and noticed a drug paraphernalia and suspected drugs in the vehicle,
including fentanyl.
Yeah, so the passenger and driver were arrested after a bit of a struggle. Both were taken into custody. While searching the vehicles, they found 9 grams of fentanyl, several $1,000s, a digital scale, and some suspected cocaine.
A little gas station drama there.
I guess there are specific laws as it relates to operating a motor vehicle while transporting personal amounts of drugs inside. Okay. And then the combination of drugs and cash led the officers to believe that 2 people are involved in the illicit drug trade, and the items were seized. Both people were released on the scene. There you go. Investigation is ongoing.
And the inaugural KGH Winter Wonderland surpasses expectations. There's no shortage of smiles for their inaugural Winter Wonderland at Joanna's House on Sunday.
Our reporter, Corvin Vasky, went down there, and he attended and took some great photos. The people were out there enjoying some street hockey, photos of Santa, food trucks, crafts, and the crown jewel of the event, a tour of Joanna's house. Yeah, some great photos there. The house has 20 rooms, a communal cooking space, common areas, a laundry room facility with supplies, a gym, and all for $25 a night. That's pretty good. And that's for families that have a loved one, KGH, right?
Yeah, and that's an initiative.
The average stay at Joanna's house is about 10 days. And the longest stay there was 144 days, right? So it allows you to be near someone that needs your support while you're at the hospital.
And that's good initiative
work.
Of the
Joanna's house is Prestige.
Yeah,
the owners of Prestige.
Exactly,
Joe and Anna.
Yeah. Kelowna developer wanting to build townhouses and condos at Gallagher's Canyon Golf Course.
Plans for a 21-unit townhouse and 19-unit condo development with a retail component near Gallagher's Canyon been brought forward to the city's planning department. I can't help but think, is this a little opportunist or something? Because I'm sure that was supposed to be set aside for parkland back when they built Gallagher's, and now all of a sudden it's like, hey, look, we can build here. This is because they're trying to change parkland into it's currently zoned park and open space. Developer wants to change that to MF2, townhouse, and NF3. Do you know what I mean? Like, because usually when you do a big development like Gallagher's, you have to set aside parkland.
I suppose their claim would be we're in a housing crisis, right?
So. I get it, but I'm just saying, like, that's premium property up there. Beautiful area. I mean, I've golfed that golf course many times.
Best.
And I think it's great, but I'm just curious.
That's good to ask questions.
It's just curiosity.
Good to ask questions. Mountie is asking for the public's help in locating a missing Okanagan man.
There you go. Eggs and enemy was last seen Monday in Penticton. Police are concerned for his well-being. He was driving a 2013 Chevy Cruze, license plate EN500D. There you go. Caucasian male, 5'10", 190 pounds, brown hair, hazel eyes, slender build. If you have information, call the Penticton RCMP at 250-492-4300. Again, 250-492-4300.
And an investigation into the BC drug trafficking operation ends in arrests and kilos of drugs being seized. This was a combined investigation, a combined forces special enforcement unit of British Columbia anti-trafficking task
year of work.
Force. Yeah.
And a large quantity of drugs. It began in early 2021. Working collaboratively with policing partners in Manitoba, just led investigators to suspects believed in large-scale trans-Canada drug trafficking operations based out of BC. They got 4 search warrants executed in the Lower Mainland and 3 men arrested, and they found 1.1 kilograms of fentanyl plus 1,713 pills containing fentanyl, 3.6. I won't go through the whole list. Methamphetamine, cocaine's, MDMA, MDA, LSD. Well, they had like a drugstore going on there.
Yeah.
Okay? Bunch of cutting agents, $250,000 in cash, and cryptocurrency believed to be valued at 194 at the time it was seized. So depending on what type of currency that was, it could be worth zero. It could be worth triple that. Who knows? 26 firearms. Wow, 26 firearms, including 4 restricted handguns, prohibited magazines and ammunition, various drug trafficking items. Wow, a lot of stuff. Eh?
And
4 vehicles. Anyway.
And a police watchdog investigating after a man was killed in an officer-involved shooting in BC's Abbotsford.
Sunday night. 1700 block of Riverside Road section between Marshall and King Roads have been closed due to the ongoing investigation. Police say that one man died in the incident, although his name and other details surrounding the shooting have not been released. No officers were hurt in the incident. IIO is on the job.
And an ex-Mountie is dedicated to preserving children's innocence and wants to represent the BC Conservatives in West Kelowna.
There you go. An Okanagan farm boy who spent close to 2 decades with the RCMP has been selected as a Conservative Party, a BC candidate for the new West Kelowna Peachland riding. The party said that Macklin McCall is driven by an unwavering commitment to conservative values and community welfare. So that's the BC Conservative Party, or the Conservative Party of BC, Conservative Party of BC, and then there's the BC United Party, and then there's the NDP, and then there's the Green Party.
And it's sort of like left to right, right to left, I guess, as you would say.
I thought we were getting rid of right to left.
I know,
left to right.
We are, but that's how others would describe it, right?
Who's the others? Well, I'm eating an apple. Who are the others? There you go.
Well, maybe we'll just move on then.
Apparently, Marcy's pulled it. We didn't have anything to do with this because we're in the middle. Marcy found an X-file, and I think Kelowna is trending with this video, and it's called Trudeau's Canada. That's the rail trail in Kelowna, I would take it. Mm-hmm. There you go. That might fit to Grok might have seen that and put that in as number 10.
Yes.
There you go.
That video's trended a couple of times, I think.
Yeah, I think we did a piece on it too. I think they actually took our video when we did a story. Mm-hmm. I think somebody took our video and used it for the story that we did do once.
Yeah, so the 13 days of Christmas just keeps on rolling. Day number 11, and so today you have this chance to win a year worth of free haircuts from Tommy Guns. Keep you in style, keep you looking fresh all year round. Don't imagine that, not having to worry about
How many times a year do you get your haircut?
You know what? Not nearly enough. I kind of go short, let it grow out really long. It's one of those things where I kind of try to save a little bit of money on, but boy.
I cut my own. Do
you really?
No, my wife. I have recently. My wife usually has cut it for 25 years. But recently I just, it's usually the sides that grow. So,
it's probably something that should be done every 4 weeks, right?
I bought a Flowbee once.
Oh,
did you? A little thing like this, and you just kind of supposedly rub it on your head. Okay, that was a bad idea.
My mom, when we were growing up, there was
really
this whole technique. There was this method where you'd have like little elastic bands and you'd like bundle up tufts of hair in the elastics. Did you ever have that?
No, my mom did the actual Roman bowl. Like she put a bowl on my head and just cut around the bowl. I used to be called the Roman haircut, right? Yeah. Put the bowl on the head and just cut around the bowl.
And then
you tried to find a bigger bowl each time.
And I guess that's why if you just spike up the fronts, they call it a Caesar. I don't know.
Caesar?
Isn't that Caesar?
Isn't that where you put like vodka and orange juice?
Yeah, that's another Caesar.
Tomato juice.
Like Caesar, the
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The emperor.
The emperor.
Or the palace.
Nope. The emperor.
Or I think there's a dog food.
Clearly, the whole newscast has gone right to the dog food. All right.
We could have asked Grok. Anyway, we're gonna add Grok into a few of the things. Maybe we'll pit Grok against ChatGPT and see what the difference right now between Grok and ChatGPT, because I've tested on a few things, a couple of story ideas we're working on too. Chat is cut off at April 2023. So it's not really good for relevant new information. You can't really do the stat story with them, right? Because they're talking about April 2023. Whereas Grok has the database of X, and it has, and traffic has grown. And I'm like, get this number wrong.
Traffic has grown on
X 200% or something since Elon took over. 232%, something crazy. Like it gets more traffic there than Facebook and Instagram.
That's interesting. I wonder.
I thought they were deplatforming it.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it the changes he's made, or is it the changes that others have made because they can't share news on some other social media networks? I wonder if it's all of that working together.
I think, and I've always thought Twitter or X or whatever, one of the best news sources out there, like for breaking news, it's got to be like, if you're looking for something that's happening, you're going to find it first on X or Twitter or whatever, right? Like if anything, it breaks in the world, you're going to find it there. You're not going to go to Instagram. If you want to find the latest fashion trends, maybe Instagram. If you want to find the latest dance trend, TikTok. If you want to find how to do something, if you're fixing something in the house, YouTube. Right? So I don't know. Like, I mean, that's what I kind of go to. Like, if you're trying to fix something or learn something, YouTube is a great one.
You can say crazy things on Twitter and get away with it.
You can.
That's why the traffic's gone.
Yeah, there you go. So like Marcy said, you can be crazy on Twitter. On Instagram, it's kind of more of a lifestyle-y kind of a thing, I think more. I use it for a personal diary kind of thing, right? Facebook, I rarely post on Facebook. I don't. Yeah, young people don't use Facebook anymore. That's for old people. They'll read every post, right? But I haven't used Facebook. Only thing I think I've done on Facebook in the past 7 years is I think my Instagram account was linked to it.
Oh.
And if I posted on Instagram, it went to Facebook. Right. And then I disconnected that as well now. So
we just use it to share photos with family at bar. It's an easy, good way to keep the family up to date with what's going on with the kids.
And then TikTok, I had a TikTok account, but I deleted it. Yeah, it's a time burner. But all I saw was cats. It shows you what you watch, cats and dogs.
Instagram will like kind of ban your comments, even if it's not even bad. Like for example, like you know the term like rocket, like oh you're a rocket. I like commented that on my friend's photo, and then I got banned. Like,
wow.
They took down my comment.
Wow.
Because he said you're a rocket.
Yeah, but that's like pretty typical to say.
Is clone a rocket? I don't know.
Huh. Like means like, oh, you're hot.
Wow, yeah, and then you couldn't even say that on Instagram?
I've never got those comments, so I don't know.
But they're like, they will like ban you or mark you kind of.
Oh, and I use LinkedIn for some business stuff.
Yeah, LinkedIn's business.
Or some rants. Anyway, thank you for spending your time with us. We appreciate it. Again, follow us on X, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. You can even follow us on Instagram. You won't see anything, but hey, follow us on Instagram. One day they may release us.
One day.
We should do a thing. What is it now? Probably about day 300.
Oh, like a hostage.
Day 300, we've been banned from speaking on Instagram and Facebook.
Boy, just have like a going count.
I don't want to trivialize other stuff, but I'm just saying it's a long time since we've been banned.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's just a canary in the coal mine of free speech, so it's something we all need to be kind of concerned about. But
anyway, have a safe evening. We'll see you at 9 a.m.